Every once in a while, justice is done. We just had it again, where Newsmax, who pumped up their ratings falsely by putting false claims against Dominion voting machines, claiming there was election lies, to run the ratings in 2020 to support them going public and raising billions and billions of dollars, they're now going to have to pay $67 million to Dominion Voting Systems. Because Newsmax, this right-wing propaganda organization for MAGA, did exactly the same thing, and even through their chairman, Chris Ruddy, as Fox did against Dominion Voting Systems. And Fox lost and had to pay $787 million to Dominion Voting Systems. And now Newsmax has to pay almost $70 million. And it's all because they were losing in court all along the way. Before the same judge, Eric Davis, who was the judge for Dominion in the Fox News case. And after a series of rulings finding that Newsmax lied in discovery, destroyed documents in discovery, and other things related to emails of Mr. Ruddy himself, which came to light in the summary judgment proceedings, much like Fox News, in which he said out loud, "Why are we putting Sidney Powell on? She should be in a mental hospital." And other internal executives about programming saying, "Why are we still running the election lie?" This is a problem for your case, especially a case about knowing actual malice, with knowing something is false, or with willful disregard for whether it's true or false. And they had a profit motive to do it. And now $67 million of it are going over to Dominion Voting Systems. I'll break it down for you right here. You're on Legal AF, the YouTube channel already. Take a moment, help us out. Grow the channel, right? We're the channel you've been waiting for. We're not changing our name. We're not MSNBC. We're Legal AF, and we will be forever. Hit the free subscribe button and show your support. I covered a lot 2 years ago. Dominion Voting Systems bringing a successful case against Fox. This is almost an identical case because they did almost an identical thing on Newsmax. What was the allegations? They platformed people like crazy Sidney Powell, who's a felon now, who barely kept her law license in Texas for participation in voter fraud and election fraud. They platformed her and Mike Lindell to say there was fraud in the election. There was a conspiracy theory that they ran on television as if it were true, that Dominion Voting Systems, in conjunction with Smartmatic, a software company, and satellites, and a Venezuelan businessman, I'm not making this up, flip votes from Trump to Biden. No evidence of that. Total lie. But they put these crazies on, and they wanted the ratings. Newsmax wanted to catch up to Fox. They were going to go public. Ruddy was going to make a lot of money as the owner. He didn't want to lose out on the ratings, so they suppressed and tamped down any objections internally, and they kept running these defamatory lies against Dominion Voting Systems night after night after night, putting it on life support, and worse, putting it effectively out of business. Because what municipality, what government would hire Dominion Voting Systems to bring in its machines while this was going on Newsmax and on Fox? No one. That's why the damages are so high. Now, Newsmax lost a series of major decisions in the case in Delaware. So I was not shocked by the settlement. I'm actually surprised that about 5 or 6 months after their last loss in court, they're just getting around now to settling. They must have been really heavily negotiating, because they lost already about destroying documents. They lost already when Ruddy's own emails were revealed, and those of other people on his executive board. Listen to these emails that came out at the time. I'll show you a picture of Ruddy in the meantime. Ruddy said, and this was published in summary judgment filings, Sidney Powell needs to check into a hospital. I think he means a mental hospital. But there are other instances. Executive Vice President of Programming and Content, Elliot Jacobson, said, quote, this is in an email that was revealed in the case, simply giving them a microphone to spew more anti-election rhetoric and advance their claims without being properly equipped to question the legitimacy or factual accuracy of their assertions may be fun, but it's terrible journalism. Or as Newsmax's own host, Bob Sellers, asked showrunner, the producer, Jerry Burke, in another document that was shown in court, how long are we going to have to play along with election fraud? Nothing says, I know I'm spewing lies on my platform and on my network, like emails like that. I'm surprised, frankly, the number's not even higher than 67 million. Newsmax is not the size of Fox, so it's got to be commensurate. But I would have thought at least $100 million. And I'm sure that was the bar. I'm sure they were offering $25 million for a long time. I'm sure the Dominion voting systems wanted $150 million or $100 million, and they sort of struck this $67 million. It probably has some meaning to Newsmax, why it's $67 million and not an even $70 million. But this is a vindication for all those out there that know that the 2020 election was safe and secure, not fraud free. There's always 0.001% fraud, but not outcome determinative fraud. And Donald Trump, this guy, this mad president that still occupies the White House, he and all of his sycophants, they keep saying the same thing. I lost 2020 because of fraud. Well, nothing says there was no fraud in an election, like $787 million being paid to Dominion by Fox and 67 more being paid by Newsmax. Nothing says there was no fraud. Once and for all, close the book, blow out the candle, we're done. These cases are important. And it also shows you defamation law is important. And we don't want the Supreme Court monkeying around with defamation law, which they've threatened to do a couple of times, and make it harder for you to obtain justice through defamation. I don't think they've learned their lesson, though. The main defense for Newsmax was, we're not a news organization. I love that. It's in their name, Newsmax. We're not a news organization. We're a commentary place. We're commentary. Our on-air people are not journalists. They actually admitted this. This was their defense. They're giving opinion, and their opinions are covered by First Amendment. All right, let's break this down for a minute. I'm opinion. I'm commentary. Have you looked at the name of our channel and the name of our podcast? Legal AF. Does anybody think that it's factually based? I don't lie to the audience. I don't blow smoke or sunshine. I give you my factual analysis layered with my opinion. Sure. But we're not Newsmax, right? We're fact-based opinion. I guess that's the best way to put it. So that's his defense. We're not journalists. We're not giving out facts. People then put a warning label on the cryon underneath that says, warning, like on the back of cigarettes, warning. We are not factually based, and all of the bullshit you're listening to is opinion only. Don't sue us under the First Amendment. Put that down at the bottom, big red letters. Be honest. No, because that would hurt your ratings. That would kill your ratings, and that would kill your ability to raise money in the capital markets. That's why Ruddy didn't want to do it. He sacrificed Dominion Voting Systems, a company he probably never heard of before, on the altar of his greed. And now he's paying the price. Not large enough, if you ask me. Now, there's other cases. Smartmatic settled with Newsmax for $40 million about a year ago. So I knew this was going to be sort of in that ballpark. Dominion's bigger than Smartmatic. Smartmatic still has cases against Fox that haven't been settled yet, and against others. Some of these individuals have been sued as well. And we'll follow it all right here as a community on Legal AF. Isn't that what we are, a community here on Legal AF? Take a minute and hit the free subscribe button. And I'm really promoting now our Legal AF Substack. Such an amazing other collaborative community here with the YouTube. But YouTube is like a one-off thing, right? I got a short, I got a community, I got a video, so do my other 12 collaborators. It's great. But you can't kind of live here all day. You can live on Legal AF Substack. And there we've been around for about 3 months, 70,000 subscribers. We're top 20 rising in news. That's a good thing there. And we have all sorts of content that we can't just do on YouTube. There's videos, there's new videos, there's lots of lives. I do 2 or 3 lives a day, including with other people, other guests that I think you'll find fascinating. Writing that's there, commentary, and the rest. Legal AF Substack. And if you can help us, people say, how can we help you, Popac? All right. Paid subscribe. Be a member, paid member, Legal AF Substack. I think it's the cost of a Starbucks coffee a month, not a day, not a week, a month. Over on the Legal AF Substack. So try to help us there. That's the way to do it. And I'll in turn, quid pro quo, I'll give you great content, I promise. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popac. I'm Michael Popac, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popac firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popac firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popac firm today at 1-877-POPAC-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopacfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popac firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.